All right, now it's time to talk about the less fun campaign. Well, maybe it's less fun, maybe it's not. We'll call it a last ditch campaign. Right, we're talking re-engagement. So let's go back and look at our customer value journey and figure out where re-engagement comes into play and where we're triggering these campaigns. We're starting back at the beginning, right? When we're talking about re-engagement, we're going to trigger re-engagement campaigns to move people all the way back to the beginning, right? All the way back to the beginning of the customer value journey into awareness. We're going to assume that the lack of engagement is because they've either forgotten about us or don't know that we're here. Maybe it's on them, maybe it's on us. So awareness and excitement. We want to make people aware that we exist, remind them. We want to get them excited about our content, about the value we add to them. These are the two stages of the value journey that the re-engagement campaigns are focused on. So just like most of the other campaigns, the re-engagement campaign is a triggered campaign sent to any scriber who has not opened or clicked an email in the last 30 to 60 days, right? They need to become unengaged before we can re-engage them, or before we should, right? Before we should re-engage them. So however you are setting your threshold, right, between 30 and 60 days, how long can one of your subscribers go without engaging with your email content? Once that has happened, what do you do to start a new campaign to get them engaged? That's the job of the re-engagement campaign. We want to call out inactive subscribers and re-engage them, right? Call them out, acknowledge what is true, and then look to re-engage them. The re-engagement campaign should remind them of the benefits of being a subscriber. Like, one of the ways I'd like you to think about the re-engagement campaign is that the best re-engagement campaigns feel a lot like indoctrination campaigns. Remember, in indoctrination campaigns, we're gonna make sure that we are welcoming people. We're gonna make sure that we are stating the benefits of being a subscriber. We're gonna make sure that we are putting our best foot forward, showing them our best content, telling them what to expect. If we've fallen out of that, we need to do it again, right? We need to remind them of those things, remind them of the benefits. But first, let's talk about how we can proactively seek to avoid people becoming unengaged with your email. So here are the reasons why people aren't engaging with your list. First, they don't recognize you or the brand, right? This happens when you have inconsistent send from names or addresses, right? People need to recognize you in the inbox. It's totally understandable if they don't when they first become a subscriber. But through consistency of send time, content, send from, and sending domain, then people should start to recognize you when you show up in their inbox. If they do, and your content is good, then they should be engaging with. If not, then they'll become unengaged. Now, the second cause of people becoming unengaged is email frequency. And this one works both ways, right? People can become unengaged because you're sending them a fire hydrant worth of information. Like, you are emailing often and always, and just with an amazing pace and cadence. It's too much. They can't keep up. Even if they're super interested, they feel like they're getting behind. And if you make someone feel like they're behind, then resentment builds in and they're going to ignore you. Think about that for a second, right? How are you making people feel? If you make someone feel overwhelmed by sending too much email, but it's valuable, they feel like they're not doing their job. They feel like they should be staying up to date. They feel like this is valuable information that you're sending that they're wasting. They're overwhelmed. That'll lead to resentment. Now, the opposite end of that spectrum is you're not sending enough email, right? You're rarely emailing and your frequency is sporadic. That can lead a lot to, I don't know who you are, right? That can go back to, I don't recognize you or the brand. So make sure that when we're setting expectations in our indoctrination campaign, when we're saying, this is what you can expect from me, this is the type of emails that I'll be sending to you, this is who they'll come from, this is why they're beneficial, and this is how often I'll send them, that you're following through on that. And if you change, right, if you change your plan, you change your indoctrination campaign, and you update your existing subscribers on realistic expectations and benefits of continuing to be an engaged subscriber on your list. Now, this next one is real, right? No content. right? No content. You are subscribed to the buy or die campaign. Like your style is, I'm going to hit you with all of the all of the offers, none of the content, right? Now, look, I'm not saying this is bad, but if you start to see really high engagement, really high unsubscribe rates, and really high spam complaint rates, you might want to look at the frequency of content to commercial intent. Like, what is that percentage? And are you doing way too many conversion campaigns, right? Conversion segmentation, or you're sending way too many segmentation campaigns with the goal of conversion, and not enough segmentation campaigns to get people into a new opt-in to start a new conversion campaign. So look at that content to commerce mix and evaluate the types of campaign you're sending. Next is boring or repetitive content, right? Like, think about this in true human nature. Like, how many times do you see the same person at the same place and they tell you the same story for the 150,000th time? Probably not that many, because you'd stop going to that place. That's super weird and not at all fun. Don't be that person in email, right? Even if your story is really good, recognize that maybe it's your best of, but the best of doesn't need to happen every week, every month, heck, maybe not even every quarter. So how often are you sending out the same content? How often are you talking about the same thing? How are you attaching yourself to relevant happenings right now? Not just in the world, but in your customer's everyday life. Your job in marketing is to attach your product, your service, your desired end result, your promised benefit to the everyday, what's top of mind to your customer. If you're getting high segments or high numbers of unengaged subscribers, there's a good chance you're missing here. So look for opportunities to tie back your product, service, benefit to what's relevant, what's going on right now in your ideal customer or subscriber's life. Irrelevant or dated content. Like, if you're going to send out content, make sure that it's either evergreen or updated. Like, don't send out things that makes you seem old or irrelevant. That doesn't build trust. It doesn't build ascension. It builds unsubscribe, right? It ends the relationship because you date yourself. Abandoned email addresses. So this is more technical and it'll be covered later, but when you're sending emails to email addresses that are bouncing and you're not cleaning them up, right? You're not removing them from your list. You don't have a system that does it. You don't have a process that does it. You don't have a tool that does it. So you're just sending emails to abandoned lists and you're continuing to send them. Inbox crowding. And look, there's nothing that you can do about this other than write really, really, really good copy. Make sure that what you're talking about is really, really, really desired to your ideal customer, and doing everything you can to stand out in that inbox, because you can't make them receive less email. Finally, they're not interested in you or the brand. Like, maybe they never were, maybe you didn't do a good job at indoctrinating them, or maybe something has changed, right? Maybe something changed in a good way. Maybe they received 100% of the promised value. They are now living their average day as their desired end result, and it's all thanks to you and your brand. And they frankly just don't need you anymore. That's an option, right? This is an audit, right? You should use these reasons for lack of engagement or unengagement to audit your messaging, audit your frequency, audit your content, right? Audit how relevant you are. Audit your database on bounced email addresses, right? Look at your own inbox and see, do you open your own emails? Do you open your own broadcast emails, or do you archive or delete them without opening, right? This is the audit that you need to filter all of your content through and look at your re-engagement numbers and see which one of these reasons is the primary trigger for unengaged subscribers.